Hello everyone, I'm back with another review. Um, Now the reason I will not have an intro in this video is because, for all those that watched the update, you already know this, but I'm being copyright strikes for my intro and outro, so I'll be making different ones. Uh, so yeah. Now, I think it's time to get into what if Deku was an Uzumaki and tricked. Oh, actually, one more thing. I may bring one of my friends in this what if, just because I'm not good with Mina's character. And also, sorry if it's hard to see the freaking thumbnail name. Uh, that's just because I decided freaking Skyview would be better. It's art. You can do all this on Canva. Just let me know if any of you want a tutorial on how I do my things. And that's about it, honestly. Uh, so yeah. Now, this is not going to start off when Deku was a baby, but rather when Deku's in, I believe it's middle school. Now, Deku was just told by Bakugo to jump off a cliff. Now, Deku has been depressed for a while, and, his hair was still green at the time, but it started turning reddish, if that makes sense. But no one really thought about it. And in this, Deku loved these tattoos, because screw it. He doesn't have them right now, obviously, but, now, he does what Bakugo said. Plainly and simple. He did exactly what Bakugo wanted him to do. And he jumped. Although he didn't jump off from the school building, as he didn't think it was really the school's fault. He thought it was more of society's fault. So he jumped where society would see him. Or at least what he thought. But while falling, I'm gonna say through some bullshit, the wind carried him into an alleyway because it was right in front of an alleyway. Because he didn't want to be too noticeable, but he also wanted it to be noticeable. So, he jumped. Simple as that. Now, he hits the ground as an All For One steps out a portal, and so does a guy that has this, I guess you could say, misty looking head. Uh, as, oh, sorry about that. As, uh, All For One says, no wonder, Kurigiri, let's take this boy. I'm curious how we could use him for our goals. So Kurigiri says, of course, master, as they do take Deku. Now, they're in the hospital, as they did clone Deku, saying that right now, because if they didn't, then every heroes wouldn't really care, but Inko would care, and then her friends would care, they're quirked, then the government would kind of give it. So, just to avoid all of that, they made a clone that will change while Deku changes. Now, uh, Deku wakes up in a hospital bed, uh, saying, ow, what? How am I so alive? I jumped, damn it, as he hits a wall. As All For One comes in and says, oh, I see you're fine now, boy. As Deku says, why? Says, what do you mean? Why did you save me? I'm quirkless. Society has no use for me. No one does. Just a waste of space. As far as everyone else is concerned. As he says, tell me, do you like quirks? He says, yeah, I've always studied them. He says, there may be a way for you to get a quirk. That said, you'll have to work for me. As he says, okay, but what about my mom? I should get back to her. As he says, did she ever care? Did she ever stop? Heck, if you were my child, I would have gone personally to stop them. Hell, I would have had the kid uh, expelled. Now they are talking about Bakugo. And I would have made sure that it stay on his record. I wouldn't care, and I would keep on doing stuff such as this until the boys stopped, each one progressing from one to another, getting worse and worse. No, it would never physically harm the kid. But I would not let this stand, young Midoriya. Or, sorry, young Uzumaki. As in this, Deku's name is Uzumaki, so. Another thing. I will be bringing in, you could say, subtailed beasts. So. But I'll explain that when I get to, because some will be born with it, and others will have it, what the fuck is it called? Sealed, kind of, but not. They won't be in a seal, but they will be in the person's body. If that makes any plumbing sense. So, yeah. Now, all the chakra amounts will also be equal, and I'm also going to change how quirks work. Quirks run off of an energy that is called chakra, but they don't know about chakra, if that makes any sense. So, back to the what if. As he says, here's an idea. If you're really worried about your mom and her mental safety, then we can make a clone of you. It is not you, and it will not have your past memories, but it will have memories from after. Will that work with you, young Uzumaki? Sorry, I'm gonna say Midoriya a lot by accident. That's also like fucking almost 7. So yeah. Now, Deku agrees with this. So, and All-For-One says, okay, we'll start cloning you then. Now, in this, All-For-One was gonna freaking, like, replace his knee, his, and ankle, his wrist, and his elbow, as, I'm gonna say, the longer bones, for example, the femur, fractured and broke, they're so would be repaired. And the other ones looked like they shattered, but they stayed in the general vicinity. Now I'm going to say that Deku was out for a week. And no, they already made the clone before. Actually, they made the clone right when they decided to take him. So, as All-For-One realized something, that the boys' shattered bones were somehow reforming together. Now, this made no sense to him. But I will say Uzumakis do have a very high healing factor in this. But quirk damage will be able to overmatch that, depending on how bad it is. So, yeah. Now, he asks Zuko, well, you said you like to work for me. If you had to choose, your first quirk, what would you choose? Something that would slow down time, even if it's not by much, and something that would enhance my physical speed. After all, then I could get to places faster. Now, All-For-One did have a slight time slowing quirk and a speed quirk. And I'm gonna say he has a quirk that lets him separate and put back together quirks and add things to that quirk. So he decides to mix the two and give it to the boy. Curious how this would work. Now, the freaking timeline just made it hard for the user to move, but they could still move, pushing their body, though, and afterwards they'd feel all the strain they were putting on their body. The speed one actually started to tear up the user's muscles and crack their bones, and there were even bruises on the muscles. Now, he asked for All For One to take it because he didn't want it. It was messing up his life so bad. So he decided, why not? It's a free quirk, and I can use it to justify things. Uh, so he does give it to Deku, and he says, I'll need you to try to keep calm. Uh, so he puts his hand on Deku's head, as even with his mask. I'm also gonna say like when I'm under the mask. He closes his eyes and smirks. Oh, he doesn't have eyes. I'm gonna say his eyes and an eyebrow because if I don't, he's gonna look hella weird, and he's gonna have eyelids. So he's basically gonna have a face. It's just gonna look very scarred. So yeah. Now he gives Deku the quirk. As he explained, he asked, "How did you give me a quirk?" As he says, "Oh, well, you see, my quirk is called All For One. Now, I'm able to take and give quirks, and I've only taken quirks from those who never wanted theirs to begin with, or did and then stopped wanting them after it started to ruin their life." Now, he has another quirk that he's currently using called Manipulator. Now, it makes the brain think that this is more likely and to agree and possibly go with it more. And he's been using that quirk through this whole conversation from beginning to end. So, freaking, uh, Deck, yeah, Deku, fuck it. Yeah, so Deku, uh, says, okay, so why are you seen as a villain? As All For One did tell him about this. I says, well, you see, one day I used my quirk and I didn't realize the person's quirk was tied into their life. And the guy asked me to take the quirk, so I tried and did. But it killed the man. As ever since then, I've been seen as a villain, a high ranking one, for the ability of being able to steal and give quirks. Not even for my body count, which is literally one, which in reality is like 12,000, because fuck it. And that's on like the light side of things, because he's also fought in wars, so I'm gonna say. So, yeah. Because man's agent. So, yeah. Now, All For One does have very high charisma even without the quirk, so Deku's like, I bet. So they wait for Deku to fully recover, and within 2 days, he's back to normal. Yes, this did take a week and 2 days. I don't care if this would have taken Naruto, I don't know, half a week. Fucking dude's regeneration is broken even without Kurama, like shit. Anyway, uh, so they say, all right, young Uzumaki, are you ready to start your training? As he says, yes. Now, All For One does give him a hoodie, like the one he's wearing in the picture, even though you can't really see it. I'm gonna say it's a black hoodie with two white stripes around the neck area. And of course, he gives him a shirt made out of the same material and pants made out of the same material. And anything uh, past those will not get damaged. And I will say that Izuku's skin does not get damaged from the quirk. Well, okay, so the quirk's backlash hurts him, but the speed of the quirk will not mess with him. So, that is going to be how I'm doing it. But his clothes would still burn. So that's why Izuku got these, because everyone was like, I don't want to keep on wasting money on buying this kid clothes. Like, he realized it was like $60 a piece. But then when he calculated how much it would be, even for when he uses his quirk 30 times, not even 30, 20, not even 20, fucking 15 times, which he's definitely going to do while training and then missions, it would calculate to be like, I don't know, freaking 320 in comparison. So he's like, Yeah, I'ma take the 180 instead of the 320. So that's why Deku got these things. Now, uh, Deku decided to practice this quirk. Now, for some reason, this quirk appeared in his eyes. Now, what first shows in this little eye of his is you see these two parts. Yeah, this whole little thing right here, and the bigger version of it. Yeah, so those three all appear in his eye whenever he uses the quirk. Uh, so he did send Deku on multiple missions, and he did give Deku his ideals. Now, uh, each time Deku did it again and again and again, and I'm gonna say he's done 10 missions already, and it's the first month. So, yes, you've done outstanding recently. Actually, I'm gonna say it's within the first 3 weeks. So, he says, you've been doing outstanding lately. What would be another quirk? Now, Deku did realize when he was training and he'd overuse it, it'd slightly crack his bones, and it hurt, and it'd take a little to regenerate. But he wishes even while he's using the quirk, his body would heal or something along those lines. And it says, would it be alright if I had a regeneration quirk that won't make me burn through energy, but if overused to a certain extent, make my body almost shut down, or at least the area of that. Now, All For One never really thought about that. Never really thought about the ability of a quirk like that, as he thinks of two of his quirks. Because someone say this man has like 100 fucking, I don't know, 10 healing quirks. He can live without 5 of them. He knows this. He just kind of has them as backups. So he merges two and gives it to Deku. Now, Deku says thank you. As then, when they start practicing, he realizes I can do like 10 times the amount of running I was able to do before. As then he starts to feel the, I'm gonna say you can kind of feel his body overworking as he realizes and stops. Now, over the time, All For One did give him some little, like, tags as soon to see if he could do anything with these, as he didn't really know what he was going to do, but Deku did ask for them. So he decided, okay, as somehow he sealed the chemical compounds needed for an explosion that was that was pretty damn decent, but he was the only one that could do it. And All For One, and he asked for only him to carry weapons. And this will be the explosion tag from Naruto. As then he had freaking 5 more different types of tags. And I'm gonna say it was the flame prison jail. No, that means the same thing, but basically what it does is it surrounds the user in a pillar of flames, and you might be thinking, cool, they fly up the top. Well, the thing is, it has a point where it converges and then spreads back out. As he has another one called Earth Dome, freaking, water prison, if he's in it, or anyone he chooses to be in it, that is not an enemy, they will not, suffocate or anything. But if it's an enemy, yeah, they'll slowly start to suffocate and they'll may collapse if they're in it for too long. Then there is the, sorry, my dog's barking. The wind, I'm gonna say the wind vortex jail. Now what it does is you can still breathe and everything, but you touch it, it sends you back. Not enough to go into the other one, but back to where the original point would be. So, say for example, you touch a corner piece, it will send you to directly in the middle. And for example, let's say, uh, I guess, Kaminari uses electricity. The electricity will just be negated in a sense. But if Bakugo was to use something that causes an air force to disrupt, oh, here's a prime example. If All Might was to punch it, it'd go through, as it's just air. So basically, wind pressure, everything, still hit. Uh, Although I'm gonna say that the wind vortex prison or whatever does have isn't does not last long. It lasts for like 5 to 10 seconds. It always varies. And then there's one that he likes the most, named the Lightning Jail. And basically what it does is it looks like a normal cell, and it slowly starts turning until you can't see anything. And it's pure blue lightning. So that is all of Deku's tags, and he realizes that, I don't know how, but I'm able to make them. So he has, uh, friggin' five, I'm gonna say he has two little containers right on his hip. Actually, no, I'm gonna say on like his leg. No? Actually, never mind. Scrap that. On his arms. Because why not? So that way he's able to. Because I'm gonna say he made a thing to shoot at the tag, and he can say explode, water, wind, lightning, fire, earth, and they'll activate. Of course, this will use up some of Deku's energy, as if I didn't let that happen, broken as, mate, breaking as hell. But anyway, now because he can do like 10 times the amount from before, instead of it being 3 weeks, and because he has a better mastery of the quirk, he does it in, he does, say, 20 missions in 2 weeks. Yeah. Now, he's shocked on how much one quirk with this boy and him making some tags changed so much. So we decided I cannot keep on giving you quirks, so this will be the last two I give you. What two quirks would you choose? As Deku thinks about this, as he says, how about a super analyst quirk? And a blood manipulation one. One where I can manipulate the blood inside and outside of the body. Now, he had a quirk called external force, and he had a blood manipulation quirk. He mixed them. That way, he can control blood in and outside the body. Although the drawback, he did warn young Uzumaki that the drawback was being lightheaded and getting a bit dizzy, as if he was had blood loss. And if he overuses it, then the quirk will deactivate, and you'll not be able to use it for a day if he's healthy, and if he's not, then it's 2 to 3 days. Now, for the super analyst quirk, he says, I like one that lets me see their movements, the slightest change in them, for the slightest change, and details about their habits when it comes to fighting, or something along those lines. As he thinks, as he says, this boy really knows what he's doing. As he makes a quirk. There was something he had one called super detail and analysis. Now let's let the user see the damage that their body was already in, and well, the user's movements, and if it looked like they changed fighting styles, to see what they already learned and seeing what may or may not change. And the user can even choose for this not to happen. It's kind of like a switch, basically. Although the drawback for this is a headache. The more you overuse it, the worse the headache. So, Arfoni then tells him about this, as he says, it's perfectly fine with me. As he says, okay. Now, Then Izuku, 1 week later, goes and sees Shigaraki, his, you could say, rival slash friend, but not really his friend. So it's weird with them. So he asks Shigaraki what he's looking at. He says, "Oh, something called the USJ attack." And he says, "Oh, interesting. What's it about?" "Oh, well, that's quite simple. When we find out when All Might's on job, we just attack. And if we can, we try to take out the symbol of peace. If not, then we try to take out, or add, really, to the amount, basically bolster our strength against them or weaken them for upcoming battles. We do not know what they are, but whenever Master All for One chooses." This is interesting. Well, how are you going to find out when All Might works? It says, "We have a spy named Toru Hagakure," I think it is. I think that's how you say her name anyway. As he says, "Can't you get it?" "No, they have infrared." As Deku smiles and he says, "Well, infrared only works when there's not enough, when there's only a couple heat signatures. But if the heat's to spread around, then it's useless." As Shigaraki opens his eye, widens his eyes a bit and says, "You have a point. Would you be willing to steal the files from UA? Start the students, their quirks, and the teachers' schedules even." As he says, "Sure. Although it will be a rush job, so I'm sorry if I don't get everything, Shiga." Says, "No problem, Izuku." So he goes, brings the files, and gives it to him. As he says, "Are all of them there?" "Yep." Now, this something I do want to say. This is not, none of them are saying this. I do realize this is a lot like someone else's story. Uh, but I have added quirks to change things, and, well, there's a couple of things that are going to change, but this will be similar. If I find the video, I will put it in the description, so it actually probably won't be too hard. Yeah, anyway. Now, he looks through all the files and says, "Wait, what the hell?" He says, "What?" "It seems like you're in this? In UA? When did you enroll?" As he says, "I never did." "Guess that would have to be my clone, but he's quirkless." As they search up the thing about Deku's freaking what's it called, exam test, whatever you want to call it, physical exam. I don't care. Just you guys know what I'm talking about. As Izuku brings the laptop to All For One, it says, "All For One." It says, "Yes, Izuku? I'm sorry, but I would not be able to give you a quirk, so that's what you may ask for." It says, "Oh no, I'm already grateful for what you've done. I've been grateful since the first quirk. But may I wish to check something." As he says, "Go ahead, Izuku." As Izuku says, "You are sure that you made my clone quirkless, correct?" As he says, "Yes, we only made out of your DNA." And hell, the doctor even commented on the fact that it was an easier and faster job because he didn't have to worry about the quirk gene. He says, "Then, do you know how this could be possible?" As he shows All For One the video, as All For One immediately realizes, this is One For All. Now, he says, "Izuku, I know you are against the whole murdering, but you're not against injuring and all that. I'm well aware. I need you to bring me your clone." I says, "Okay, although I don't understand why. But I will do as you say, Master." as he calls him Kurigiri. He says, Kurigiri, for the time being, I need you to change the base that we're all in to the one on the other side of the world. Because yes, they have, I'm gonna say, well, depending on the place, 10 different freaking bases in every country. So, yeah. That's gonna be annoying for the heroes, but whatever. I don't care. Now, they do, and, he says, Shigaraki, I'll be coming with you. Master All For One has given me a job to do. As he says, okay. As the next day, they're all ready. Now, we're gonna cut to Clone Deku's perspective, and he says, Aizawa, does the air feel off to you? And she says, what do you mean? I don't know, just feels wrong, like unnormal. As then a portal starts to open as Kirishima says, whoa, you guys even got fake villains? As Aizawa says, those aren't fake. 13, protect the kids, as Aizawa somehow freaking Naruto jumps off the freaking stairs. I don't fucking understand it. Anyway, so this happens, and as I was still fighting, as the last person to come out the portal is Izuku. Now, they say, wait, Izuku? As in they look, see, there's Izuku there, and then another Izuku, and they're hella confused. As they say, one of us needs to go get Oma, as Kodagiri is behind them and says, I'm sorry, but I cannot have you leave this party quite yet. As he teleports everyone but Deku. As then we see Izuku run just normally up to where the other Izuku is. Izuki? What the fuck? Anyway. Sorry for all my cussing, everyone. I'm extremely tired. Because I'm kind of not changing my sleep schedule with insomnia. It's kind of bit. But anyway. Now, this happens as the hero, Izuku, says, are you a villain using a copy quirk? Or a duplication quirk? Or he lists off all the possibilities, says. Villain Deku laughs and says, you're quite funny. No. If anything, you're the clone. As Deku says, what do you mean? I says, try to recall anything. And I mean anything. Before the fall. As he did have the memories of the jump. Actually, no, he didn't. Before you, basically, anything after you went home to mom. As he tries, but he can't. He says, I have amnesia right now, so I can't really do that. And Zuko says, no, you don't have amnesia. It's rather that you just didn't exist. You had no memory. Only the ones that you've made. No will, nothing. Until someone came along and kind of made one without meaning to. As Deku thinks, as he remembers one memory from his past. One from when Bakugo betrayed him. Now, All For One did give him a copy of this memory. He says, wait, if you're me, I have one memory from the past. One that made my life hard. As he says, is it the beginning of this? As he says, yeah. Just, they're probably talking about when Bakugo first unlocked his quirk and started bullying everyone, making everyone's life hell. Heck, a lot of kids actually transferred out. As Suzuka widens, as that is exactly what happened. As he says, well, come with me. He says, what? Why would I come with you? He says, Look, I really don't want to have to fight you right now, so please just come along with me. As he says, go to hell. As Izuku says, you have two options. I take you come with me, or I take you by force. He says, I'm sorry, but I cannot abandon my classmates or my teacher, Aizawa. As he sighs, as he used his quirk, uh, it's a really dumb name, I couldn't think of one. Times speed. It's the speed of time, basically. Now, he then uses it in a burst to get behind as he knocks out Deku with a simple chop. As he's dragging at them as Aizawa really says, because I'm going to say currently Izuku is using uh, his super analysis to see what's going on around him, as Aizawa really said, hey yo, I'm about to erase that quirk and try to capture you. So the second he erases it, because Deku can use these quirks simultaneous, some of them anyway, as he uses times speed to dash towards the portal, as I said, what? But I erased his quirk. As Kurigiri says, oh yes, you may have erased one, but not all. As he realizes, Itsuku has more than one quirk, making him incredibly dangerous, but if somehow they can get him on their side, incredibly good, if that makes sense. Uh, Sorry, I'm just searching up something for the story. Yep. Okay, here we are. Now, this happens as he brings the clone Deku to All For One as all friends. As normally, All For One can't take the work. I'm gonna say that he can if the user loses their will to fight all of it. Now, All For One doesn't know this, but he believes there are enough times of using his quirk, and depending on how mentally strong the kid was when he first got it, that will be how hard it will be able to take. So he tries to take it from Deku, and the other Deku, the original Deku, still there, hearing all of this, as he hears his clone screaming out in pain from him trying to take this quirk, as he's thinking this isn't like All For One. He just takes it from others that don't want it or that never needed it. People that hated their quirks. Yes. Then Izuku passes out. I'm gonna call the original one Deku and the clone Izuku, so because I am gonna actually have the original Izuku's name changed to Deku. So yeah. And I'm gonna say that just to make it non-suspicious, they did hack into the government, freaking make a whole little thing for Izuku. Not Izuku, sorry, Deku. Not used to doing these what ifs because I have like 4 different Naruto what ifs. So yeah. Now, uh, Deku brings him to a cell as Izuku wakes up, as he says to Deku, "Why are you doing this?" As he says, "Simple. The society's broken. It needs to be changed. Tear down the heroes and villains, and simply make anew." As I'm gonna say Izuku really said, "Hey yo, I'm about to try to copy Naruto with the Takano Jutsu." Anyway, so he says, "Yes, society is kind of broken. Trust me. I also know that just as well as you do. But if we just replace it, then it'll never change. We need to get the current system to work. Even if it means changing it a bit, it is alright. But if we just replace it, then it's gonna cripple down to the same point." As then Izuku says something that I do believe: every system, no matter how good, always crumbles down. That is just how it will be. but no one said that the system can't be changed to start to fix itself. As Deku starts to ponder this, actually, as he never thought about this, as Nezuko says, but why did you never come home? As he says the same, he goes on the whole spat about his mom not trying to stop Deku. As Izuku says, "Are you that blind? She couldn't. The government doesn't care for parents that have quirkless children or or a quirkless child. She did try to get him expelled multiple times. She talked to Mitsuki, and Mitsuki even tried to get him to stop. But nothing worked with him." As Deku's just thinking about this, as he sees in the corner, as he says, "How? Okay. Well, that may be the case, but how do I know you're not just lying to me?" He says, how about we say both our information on All For One? I'll say the whole thing about All Might, and I know on All For One, and you'll do the same." As Deku says, "I'll go first then. All Might, incredibly strong quirk, is currently unknown to me. All For One takes quirks from those who do not want their quirks, and only killed one person, and that was by accident. Current age, unknown, quirk All For One, able to give and take quirks." As Izuku says, "Okay, I'll give mine. All Might's quirk. One for all. It is a freaking energy storage quirk that every time it gets passed on, the power of the quirk doubles. Which, and I just want to say something. That is incredibly fucking broken, mate. Like, 20th user might as well be, like, isn't even possible, actually, because then he says, downside of the quirk, it can break your body if you overuse it. And if your body at any point cannot handle the quirk, it will kill you." As Deku's eyes widen and say, "Wait, what? Why do you have that? Excuse me? What user are you?" He says, "Ninth." As Deku really says, "Oh my god, he's such an idiot. But it makes sense. But how? What?" Now, I'm gonna say that Deku really do got that Naruto, like, you can tell he's lean, but it's not like his muscles are kind of defined, but not super defined, and nor is he really muscly at all. He's really just looks lean and is incredibly strong. So that's actually the reason that his freaking that's why he couldn't really be seen while using his quirk, because in his first stage it only gives him 2 times multiplier. Now I'm gonna say Izuku, from learning this, unlocks the freaking these little things. Yeah, he unlocks those. So now his quirk boosts up to time moving a little bit slower for him when he uses the quirk anyway, and he gets a 3 times multiplier to his speed instead of a 2 times. Now I know this quirk does evolve. It's gonna evolve really fast, guys. I know it's really stupid, but I kind of felt like making an OP Deku for some reason. So yeah. Now, as Izuku ponders this, I'm sorry, not Izuku. Actually no, Izuku's still talking. Never mind, I'm a dumb. As he says, "All For One, multiple quirks, high charisma, and he is willing to use a lot of quirks to trick people and manipulate them and other things. Body count, at least 12,000. Number of quirks, unknown, but we do know he has a lot. he says he is also cruel, as something else that Deku was told about All For One was he's not a cruel person at all. He's an incredibly nice one. Like, he does not torture or anything his victims. Not victims. People that do not want their quirks. But something that Deku never thought about is it that they don't originally want their quirk? Or does he make them wish they never had it through all the pain? Think about that. So, it's All For One is kind of telling the truth, but also a lie. So, it's kind of 50-50. So, yeah. Now, Deku thinks about this as he says, "Fine, I'll I'll believe you. I won't betray him, but I won't betray you. If that makes sense." Deku says, "That works for me." As he plucks out a hair and says, "I need you to eat this. I know it's incredibly weird, but this way you will get one for all." Now, don't. One of the reasons I'm doing this is because my body's pretty damaged right now, and he'll probably torture me and hell even kill me if it means getting this quirk. So I want you to have it. He won't expect it for a while. Well, for a little at least. It should give you enough time to form your decision, to make your decision. Yes, Deku says, "Okay," gets the quirk. He's just standing in a corner. As freaking All For One is then goes to Izuku because he did open the freaking cell, close it, and the cell is soundproof. The whole base is soundproof, I'm gonna say, because they don't want anyone to know. And if someone feels like doing something, they can do it. Like, because I'm gonna say they have like little buttons. If a button does not go off when you knock it, either means a person's asleep or doing something. And it's only good entering now. If it's all good, then they'll press one button. If it's okay, yeah, just give me a second, they'll press two buttons. If it's okay, it's gonna take me a little bit, but I'll be right there, they'll press three. So, but that's just something I want to add in. It's not even important. But anyway, now Deku is screaming and screaming and screaming as he, well, throws a kick with half the power of One For All, the embers he has left anyway, and a punch at the same time, as All For One catches it. As he realizes these were way too fucking weak for One For All. As during the torture, Deku said, "Please stop, that's enough. He's not going to give it to you. We need to do something else to get him to give you the quirk." As, Fran All For One backhands him, sending him flying into a wall, saying, "How dare you tell me what I can and cannot do with my power? If it wasn't for me, you'd be dead, you stupid brat." As Deku never saw this side of him. He really hates it. He kind of hates him now, because he's torturing basically his brother. And did a whole 180 on him. Like, as he thinks, how many crimes, how much pain and suffering have I caused for this world? How many times have I screwed up? And then Izuku throws the kick and the punch. As he realizes, that was too weak. The only person that was in here with him was you. Damn traitor, backstabber. You give me the quirk now. If it wasn't for me, you'd be dead, you pathetic, quirkless little brat. As some say Izuku was just on the chair, laying back this time because he passed out. As I'm gonna say, All For One cracked his bones in his leg and his arm, so he passed out from shock and pain. And you could tell. Actually, I'm gonna say he broke them. Like, you could tell they were broken. I'm gonna say a bone was kind of protruding out the skin. The two bones, anyway. One in the arm and one in the leg. Now, I'm gonna say something right now. Deku is a bit more calculating. He's not really as happy of a person, but he is. He's less. He's less. How happy is. Calm down a bit. Hero's not as infatuated with. Uh, and when it comes to being concerned, he will do anything to protect his comrades. Now, he does take Izuku. Now I'm gonna say Izuku has little patches of green randomly in his hair. But Deku's is just red, just complete red. So yeah. Now they he takes him to a hospital. So he's yelling. I'm gonna say freaking. He accidentally came from the back entrance. He is yelling, "Please, somebody help him!" As a nurse runs over, seeing the fact, "Ayo, this kid's bleeding. A bone is protruding from his skin in his leg and arm. No one else doing anything." So yeah, she runs over and says, "Who is he?" As he says, "His name is Izuku Uzumaki." As he says, "Who are you?" To him, as he says, "Oh, I'm his brother. I'm Deku Uzumaki." Now, and that's going to say Deku did not make his hero name Deku. I'm gonna say it was something random. I don't care what it was. Actually, no, I do actually kind of care because that may be used in the future. Comment in the description what you actually want Deku's freaking hero name to be. I'm curious what y'all choose, and that might impact it. Anyway, so Nezu is panicking, thinking all for one's gonna get one for all. If that happens, he will be unstoppable, incredibly destructive, rule the world, and kill everyone that crosses him. That like makes him mad or tries to double cross him or whatever. So then Nezu gets a call. I don't say All Might was also in the office. As he puts them on speakers, he says, "Yes, this is Principal Nezu speaking." As they say, "I believe we have one of your students. His name is Izuku Uzumaki. He's brought here by his brother, Deku Uzumaki. Do you know why? That could be as they say, we'll be over right away. We don't know, but the weird thing is, Izuku doesn't have a brother. Is the kid still there?" As they say, "No, he left right after he knew he was okay." As I said, "Okay, that's fine. Thank you for all the information." As Nezu asks All Might for upsies, basically, to pick him up and do this Usain Bolt times 50, just freaking go over there as fast as possible, basically. That's All Might does. Yeah. As they go to see Izuku, as they see Izuku, because they did put Izuku's bones back in, covered up the skin, and they have been cast. As he says, "Hello, Principal Nezu," and All Might. Now, they ask what happened as he explains the whole thing. Only after he says, "I'm sorry, I don't have one for all anymore." As Nezu and All Might instantly terrified, as they say, "Does all for one have it?" As he says, "Oh, hell no, I did not. I made sure he did not have it. Well, I made sure anyway." As then he explains the whole thing about the torture, the original one, the fact that he's a clone, but now he kind of like sees each other's existence. They're kind of like twins, but not. It's weird. So they say okay, as flippin' they leave after visiting hours are over, and at I'm gonna say freaking 10, yeah, school at 10. Flippin' he Sorry, not he who. Anyway, Deku uses his times speed to gather up a lot of kinetic energy and uses it to run up the building, open the door, jump down as like Deku realized my door just opened, not my door, my window just opened. What the? As Izuku went back down, gathered more kinetic energy, and came in. As he said, "How? I'm on the what? I'm on the 17th floor, mate. How do you know what room I was in? What?" Says, "Oh, the room thing. When I left, there's a plate on the door that I looked at, and the floor thing. Uh, I kind of counted the floors before we got to your room, buddy." He says, "Valid points. But how did you? Oh no! Please tell me you didn't run the wall." He says, "Oh no, I ran up the wall." As Izuku just kind of looks at him like, "You didn't use one for all, right?" "Oh no 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 no! I used one of my other quirks," as he says. Of course, that's literally the only way possible." And I'm gonna say from Deku's betrayal, he does unlock the third state. So now the eye in the picture will be what it looks like. So now now what happens now is, sorry, I just repeated myself. What the fuck? Anyway, so time is still slowed down as much as stage 2. His thought speed will double when in that state, and he already thinks pretty fast. Uh, and his speed gets a 3.5 multiplier instead of a 3 times multiplier. So, they let this happen. Well, they can't really stop, can they? Sorry, guys, my brain. This is almost an hour long. Holy cow. Anyway, so I guess I'll end this at that. Now, freaking Deku. Yeah, that's Deku, right? Yeah, it is. Sorry, my brain is crashing now. That's amazing. Anyway, so he says, "I'm not sure, but I think I'll ask the bear mouse looking thing." Wait, the principal, it says, "Oh, even Principal knows it." It says, "Wait, the bear mouse intelligent thing is the what?" Uh, No, I'm not gonna question it. We live in a world with superpowers. As he says, "Yeah, we really do." Anyway, it says, I think I'm gonna enroll in UA." As says, "But I'm sorry, I can't give you your quirk back. My quirks are all I have, and I can't take the risk of losing them." As Tegi says, "Even if you tried, I wouldn't accept it. My body's shot. Heck, I'd only be able to use a fourth of its power ever. No matter how many years of rehabilitation, my body's shot. My bones, if I ever break them, they said that they go into the muscles, possibly some of my veins, killing me from blood loss and internal bleeding." As Deku's eyes widen and say, "Damn it, I should have reacted faster. I should have done something." As Izuku says, "No, it's perfectly fine. You did nothing wrong, man. After all, you were in shock. You didn't know how he really was. You were manipulated and everything." Now, I'm gonna say Inko does know about that Izuku and Deku were two people. Because I'm gonna say Izuku explained the whole thing to Miss Uzumaki. I guess she is now Holy Inko anyway. So, yeah. Now he says, "Well, Principal Nezu should be in his office until like an hour later." Says, "That was all I really wanted to say. Sorry." He says, "Don't worry about it. You're way too kind on some things. You know that, Deku." As he says, "I'm not as kind as you, Izuku." As then, with incredible speed, Deku's gone, and the window's closed, because he don't want freaking they come through the window and Izuku to be cold and all that, especially when he's trying to heal, because that could be bad for the body. Anyway, so he goes to the school as he enters. Now, school's alarm goes off, and as realizes as Deku uses time speed to go to a map. I'm gonna say he memorizes the path he needs to go to, and freaking uses the school like a maze, just and acts like Principal Nezu's office is the exit. As he opens the doors, he says, "Could you please stop that annoying alarm? Sorry, I entered because I was trying to ask you something." He says, "Okay, fine, Izuku." As he turns it off, he says, "First things first. I'm not Izuku. I'm Deku." He says, "Hold up, what the um uh All Might still here," as he says. "I don't care." The thing I want to ask you is, would it be alright if I enrolled in UA? As says, "Don't you still work for All It says, "Oh, well, I did until I realized I had been tricked, manipulated, and used as a pawn." He says, "Yeah, sounds pretty normal. So, sure, but we'll have to have you under surveillance." As Deku says, "Perfectly fine with me, mate. Perfectly fine." As they say, I mean, fuck. Nezu says, "Okay then, we'll have you enrolled into 1A as uh, we've seen your capabilities against young Midoriya, and he was quite strong. He made place in last, but he was only able to use quick for one of the tests, so it makes sense. And he was able to show you that zero pointer." As says, "What should I put down for your quirk?" It says, "I don't know, put down super analysis, blood manipulation. Can't really put down one for, you know, because that's kind of a secret. Regeneration and times speed, the speed of time, basically." As he says, "Okay," as he puts them all down. He says, "Actually, we can use time speed in another way, but I'm not doing that." Anyway, so that happens as they go to school as Baku immediately tries to fight Deku, realizing that, "Hey, yo, that's not Izuku." As everyone's like, "Hey, yo, man, calm down, that's Izuku." He says, "No, Izuku is wearing patches. This man's hair is just red." As they realize, and like, they all get on guard. He says, "Calm down, calm down, calm down. You can even ask All Might. I'm not here to fight." As All Might comes in and says, "You have a new student today, uh, because apparently Izuku was cloned from Deku, pointing at Deku, but they're also like twins, so they consider each other. But it's really confusing. Don't try to figure it out, guys. Well, my brain's still trying to figure this out. That yeah, he's not trying to find anymore. Tricked, manipulated, by All for One, and we have him under surveillance. A lot of surveillance. So yeah, as they lowered their guard, as Izuku, I'm sorry, Deku kind of looks down, remembering what happened. He's sad, but also kind of pissed. Now he's still wearing the jacket and stuff that All for One gave him. As he doesn't like that All for One gave it to him, but in his eyes, it more or less signifies uh the time of his first quirk. Uh, so yeah. Now, as Awa comes in, as All Might leaves, as he says, "Okay, everyone, we're gonna be having the UA Sports Festival." As Decker really looks at him like, "You stupid." As then Decker thinks about it more. So why would they do that? As he realizes, wait, Aizawa, could this be to make sure that publics, the the citizens don't think we're weak? Makes them think that uh the hero attack, villain attack, not hero attack. What the fuck? Hero attack. Not the hero attack, the villain attack. Sorry, my brain. Anyway, so it didn't do anything to us. It says yes, you have a 2 week training period, and that's about it, honestly. As I'm gonna say, Ooh, ooh, scrap that. Actually, I'm gonna say Zuko gave one for all half to Deku and told me to give it to Mina as he said Mina's never gonna eat this. Because he knows who Mina is but doesn't at the same time. Says as he says, put on her damn smoothie. She always gets one in the morning. Says, you bet. So yeah, Mina also has one for all. As a so when everyone leaves, Deku asks if he can talk to Mina for a bit. Uh, as he informs her on the fact, hey yo, you also have one for all. You're also a 10th user. Well, I guess we're more like ninth users, so there's been like three. As she says, wait, because I'm gonna say the power even split. So, what do you mean? Okay, Deku's quirk. He was quirkless originally, not Deku. Izuku's quirk. He was quirkless originally, so was I, but that's a whole nother story. Anyway, so he's quirkless originally. All Might gave him a quirk, and All Might's quirk was called One for All. Now, uh, Deku gave me a piece of his DNA. Not Deku, fuck. Izuku gave me a piece of his DNA to digest into my body, and a hair, but not a hair, just something I could split to put in your smoothie, and just for me, so that way the power will be split in half, so we don't have to worry about it breaking down our bodies. As I'm gonna say, for some reason, if you're like the ninth user or something, the quirks won't break down your body. So he tells her this as she realizes, hey, yo, I need to get like physically strong and fast. Because he explains how the quirk works. So she says, yeah, I'm not really going to be using that quirk by itself, am I? He says, probably shouldn't. But it wouldn't be bad if you infuse like 1% of it in your acid quirk, would it? She thinks about it and says, she agrees. Because it's completely logical. Uh, she says, well, okay, thank you for telling me this. As something else as I've said, oh yeah, also we're implementing dorms, and we already got permission from your parents. As is it, Deku looked at him like, dang, y'all are on top of this. As they did the whole tour for the dorms and explained the whole thing, got the stuff that they wanted, from their house. Uh, as that's really about it. Me? No, you can't. Oh, yes, you can. Sorry. Okay, my mic said, hey, yo, I'm about to die real quick. So, I don't know how much of that you guys actually heard, but sorry for all my interruptions. I'll pick up on whenever you guys couldn't hear me. The next part of this, thank you all for listening. I'm sorry for all the times I interrupted the storyline. Sorry for how confusing this was, as I even got confused with Deku and Izuku. Uh, don't worry. What if Rimuru was an Overlord will still exist? So will what if Deku, not Deku, sorry, what if Kaneki was an Overlord, and what if Naruto was an Overlord? Not Overlord, sorry. Might do that though. Unordinary. So what if Kaneki was an unordinary, and what if Naruto was not an ordinary? Will still exist. Uh, yeah, I will try to keep that existing. I'm not sure, but I may be cutting a lot of my what ifs and redoing them in the future. And yeah, that's about it. I hope you all enjoy this video. Uh, Again, I'm sorry for how much that cut out. If I can find out what cut out, if it's a lot of it, I'll just remove it. So yeah, with all that out of the way, thank you all for listening. This is Nice Chia signing out. Goodbye. Please subscribe, leave a comment, and a like. Uh, so yeah, I'll see you all next time. Nice Chia signing out.